I got a message from somebody who came to a camp and he said, "Sir, in so-and-so village there are 4 militants." This was the information I got. I was the officiating commanding officer. On the radio set, I got that company commander. I told him Mal, that was his name, real name, Lok Bahadur Mal. And I told him, so-and-so village, 4 militants, go. Now you can ask me, sir, did you not make a plan? Like you see in movies, did you not sit on a board, have conference, smoke one cigarette, light a pipe? It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. And I'll tell you why it doesn't happen. Because there is ownership. If there is a young officer who is responsible for an area, he knows that area best. He knows his men the best. He knows the people who live in that area the best. He can smell a person and say, this guy does not belong to my area. He's come from outside. That is ownership. Now when there is that level of ownership, it is stupid of me to sit somewhere 20 kilometers away and make a plan for him to use.
8 months we went around, Mrs. Indira Gandhi went around to every capital in the world, to Washington, to London, to Germany, to France. Please do something, please do something. Nobody did anything. Ultimately, you have to help yourself. And so, we marched on to Bangladesh, we broke Pakistan in 2, we created a new nation state with the force of arms. That is my batch. That is what my generation did. Right? And now, the same Pakistan has recovered. It's once again, for the last 30 years, it has been making our life miserable. It's been making our lives miserable. It has killed, it's almost 80,000 plus Indians who have been killed by Pakistan. Now because they tried to take Kashmir by force. 47, 48, failed. 65, failed. 71, got broken into 2. 99, Kargil, failed. Then, if you can't take it by the right means, you try and take it by the war of 1,000 cuts. Then you wear salwar kameez. In our country, only women wear salwar kameez. And then you come and fight without a uniform. So my advice to you, young ladies and gentlemen, is, look, if this country doesn't behave, possibly the time is now coming when my generation broke Pakistan into 2. Your generation will have to break what is left of Pakistan into 4. Into 4 pieces.
General D'Souza, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here under false pretenses. I must be the only one here who has never been into a college. General D'Souza has told you all about me. I'm most appreciative of his kind words. My only regret is that my wife wasn't here to hear them. She would have treated me with greater respect. And when I say I'm uneducated, I really mean it. I must be the only member of my family who isn't a graduate. I managed to do my inter-science. I got a 3rd division mushkil se. Anyway, it's nice being in this hall.
We are in a state of war. This is just war by other means. You'll see a lot of generals talking about hybrid warfare. Please understand, because when generals talk, they talk with decades of experience. And they often talk about hybrid war. What is hybrid war? It's not a conventional war, ये artillery है, infantry है, tanks है, fighter aircraft यहाँ से जाएंगे, special forces यहाँ से जाएंगे, navy यहाँ से. That is done and dusted. Today, one disgruntled Jawan telling a lie can bring a force, a professional, competent force like BSF, on its knees in 48 hours. I'm talking about Tej Bahadur Yadav. Punch mein posting, battalion under command Indian Army, राशन आ रहा है इंडियन आर्मी से, वो कह रहा है कि बीएसएफ का अफसर पैसा खा रहा है.
Many years ago, a family of 3 moved from a small town of Himachal Pradesh to City of Dreams, Delhi. A young single mother shifted base with her 2 toddler sons with a dream of providing them a decent education and a good life and make them responsible human beings of this country. The lady had lost her husband in 1983 in a military training exercise. The officer was a brave infantry soldier, a gallantry award winner of 1971 India-Pakistan War. The lady, when she lost her husband, had 2 choices. Either to stay back in that small town, accepting life as it came, or move to a much bigger city, face her challenges, overcome her fears, and raise her kids single-handedly. She chose the latter as her dreams were much bigger than anything else. On reaching Delhi, she got her sons enrolled in a good military school. I strongly believe that the character of a person develops at an early age, and the surrounding in which they grow up influence it. As the kids grew up in a military environment,
Indian Army has been in the service of this nation for past many years, both during peace and war. During its long journey, which has been glorious, भारतीय सेना ने अनेकों ऑपरेशंस में हिस्सा लिया है और सफलता से हिस्सा लिया है. मैं कर्नल दीपांकर शेरावत इस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का पिछले 21 सालों से एक हिस्सा हूं. बचपन से ही मेरे अंदर एक जज्बा रहा था कि जाना है तो इंडियन आर्मी में जाना है. अब इफ आई मे से दैट द चाइल्डहुड, your dreams of childhood, they get shaped by the environment that you are exposed to. आप जिस तरीके के environment में रहते हैं उससे उसका काफ़ी हिस्सा रहता है कि आप आगे जाकर के क्या बनेंगे. मैं जिस जगह से आता हूँ, भिवानी में एक हमारा गांव है.
Only that exists in combat is love.
Is love?
Yes. I love my men. I used to love them. It's love. Only love can penetrate like that. Nothing else. Only love can be that efficient. So it's that love which forms after trust. Trust comes before love. So then the love comes, and then with that love vibration, you can fucking penetrate anything. So at that point of time, when I was seeing this guy, and what a guy, man. What a guy. Like his like ankle below was gone. There was space there, and then his 1 foot, which had basically blown up. There was only one bone. There's the bone of the longest toe. There was no flesh on it. There was just a bone, and which had broken in like a hook, and there was nothing else there. And this guy was like, he had his hands behind his back like this. We expect.
So the totality of the essence of the Special Forces probation is about wringing the living daylights out of the guy, breaking his biological clock, and putting him under extreme stress to see how he responds. So the fundamental belief is, when you are exposed to stress over, and when I say stress, I don't just mean physical stress. Physical stress is an important component of it, because prolonged physical stress over extended periods of time starts playing tricks on your mind. And when the physical stress elevates itself cumulatively over a period of time, and it lowers the ability of your mind to instinctively respond to situations, it's then that they're testing you. So the test is not actually the 20-kilometer speed march or the 40-kilometer speed march or the 100-kilometer escape and evasion, but what happens beyond that. That's the equation that doesn't seem to hit people.
So I don't think soldiers look forward to war. But all soldiers know that this is the reason why they have been trained. It's a bit like you have been training to become, I don't know, a cricketer all your life, and one day you are called to play for the Indian cricket team. You know the ball is going to come at 180 kilometers an hour. You know if it hits your head, you will die. But that's what you have trained for. That's what you are expected. So there's definitely a sense of, I'm using the word with a lot of caution, eagerness to say, yeah, I want to go. I want to participate in this. The battle is happening. I want to go and participate. And this, by the way, very common. It's very, very common that when a battalion gets deployed to an operational area, like in Siachen or Kargil, officers who are on deputation, who are on some other unit in a comfortable posting and all, they will leave that and come to join the unit. They will volunteer. They'll say, "Theek hai, I don't want to stay in Delhi because my Paltan is going into operations, so I have to be with the Paltan." Right? So there is that sense of, how can my boys go into battle and I'm not there with them? There is that sense of, that sense of participation is there.
Initially, in those days, when we used to be talking about it, it was more in the form of what they used to call as a A&E, anti-national elements.
Okay.
So, and there were insurgents and A&Es and what have you, and the terrorism was a term that got coined a little later, as the enormity of it, sunk in. So, like I was saying, my unit was not really geared up for a move in this classical sense, because when you are deployed in a counter-insurgency grid, as I say, you have these bases all over, where you have pockets which you're occupying and you dominate that area around. So that's how it is.